Hello, how you doing? Wait, I do have my mic set up for this one. Yes, I do. Okay, cool. For a second, I wasn't sure if I actually had my mic set up for the Zoom screen. Alright, I'm just going to go grab a better jacket and then I'll be back. Oh, jumper thing. It's been a day because of the conference? That's the conference you warned me about last week? This slide. Toby, what are you doing? You want something? The same. Mm-hmm. You didn't seem very enthused about it earlier, considering you said the pigeons were the most interesting part. Alright, where's my headphones? There. This is fine. Hi? What's that? Toby just like tugged on my my cardi. He like grabbed a corner of it with his mouth and tugged on it. What? Hello. Can I use my speakers? I'm gonna see if I can use my speakers and it won't like echo for you guys. Because I want music, but also I have food, so I don't want to have headphones in because that drives me slightly crazy. Hello. You're being very cute. Yes, you are. Very cute. Also, carbonara. Wow, the color of that is really weird in this light. Anyway. Also, I do have some wine because I've had a bottle open for ages and I cooked tonight, so I felt like being fancy. So I have lo-fi music, I have carbonara, I have wine, I'm streaming so I can chat. It's good. My mic is definitely picking that up a bit, isn't it? Let's try that. Hello. He's just sitting on the ottoman with his head on my knee going, please. Oh my god. How long's the conference for? It's a couple of days, I think you said originally. Wait, so middle of the week conference? Like, why would they not do like Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday? Why Tuesday, Wednesday? Classes and talks from only provided support during. Oh, jeez. Right. Mm-hmm. So, fire hose of information in probably a really boring format and no breaks or anything? DK, welcome. I have carbonara. I think the coloring looks really weird because camera, but yes. To be fair, I started with a packet mix, but then I added more pasta. I actually pan fried some ham and then added that, which is really nice. And I've added some peas. Monday was registration since it's for the... Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes some sense then. I just had the thought that my boss at work is at a conference this week that started today as well. And I was suddenly like, surely that's not the same conference. But I don't think the, like, fields overlap. Alright. I'm my gosh, what have I done? I've had my hair in a, like, curled up in a bun all day, and I almost forgot to let it down before stream, because I usually, like, have my hair down when I'm streaming, and now it just won't. Ah! It was a bad hair day when I woke up this morning, so I just went, throw it in a bun and be done with it. Forgetting I intended to stream, and of course, then I get really conscious about my hair. What is it doing? I don't know. I don't know. Is that... Huh. I guess if there are any health tech crews? Also, it does seem to be conference season. There was a conference being run at the building my office is in last week. No, week before that. And then Boss is at a conference today. The rest of this week, I think. Actually, yeah, I think it's the rest of this week. Like today, all through the week. And then they're also at a conference Monday to Wednesday next week in another city. So yeah, it seems like there's a lot of them going around at the moment. No, it's fine. I did just remember that the boss is at the conference all week, and therefore it's very unlikely to be the same one. Toby, what are you... Were you sitting on food? Toby suddenly like panicked and started spinning around on the ottoman, and I think he was sitting on a piece of food. Oh god. Or rather, he's sitting on a blanket, and I think there was a piece of kibble under the blanket. God, it makes me almost tempted to just put my hair up again. Like, it's a bad hair day. Don't like my hair today. Anyway, this is fine. Also, yes, my brain is I'm just scatterbrained today. I managed to get one, like, significant piece of work done today, and then a bunch of little things, and I was quite proud of myself for that. Because sticking to one thing for like 3 hours or whatever it took me was so hard. My brain was just getting distracted by every little thing, and I was just like, I can't do this. You okay, Toby? You okay? What did you do? You okay? He was just kind of coughing. It was weird. Thank you, Sneaky. I've always, like, the one thing I'm vain about is my hair. And I think it's actually worse now that I don't dye it blonde anymore, because I was so used to it being blonde for so long. Now I'm like, I don't know, I'm more self-conscious about it when it's brown. Yeah, so the big thing I was doing today is, I was having to write legal contracts. It still needs a bit of work. Some of it is definitely not legal speak entirely, but someone had thrown together like a really basic template for a certain contract for work, but a lot of the details were wrong for what we actually do. And so I had a chat with the devs this morning to get like all the technical details, and then just sat there for a couple of hours just staring at this thing, figuring out how to word all the things properly in legal speak, or close enough to, and then like having to try and think through all the ways people could get around the contract and adding all these. There was one section that started out as a single sentence, and it ended up being like 5 paragraphs, short paragraphs, but still. Because as I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, but people could also, okay, add another clause. Oh, and then as well, my brain is also fried from anytime I have to write legal shit. My brain just, I can do it, but it hurts. So. Thank you, Thinky. Also, this is a great example. My brain just jumping between everything. You saw me complaining about the chai that I got earlier today? I actually had to stop drinking that because my face started hurting. So I mean, it could have just been that whatever, like, it was really bitey. I mean, it's something. It's something. Is it at least morning for you, DK, or is it evening? Since I went there for I swear I've had it before and it was a nicer mix. And I know it's like, I think it's actually a little bit more authentic, this mix that they have. But it's way too bitey for me. Like, I thought it was ginger at first, too much ginger, but then I can't remember what's in a chai, but I think it's definitely more than just ginger. So yeah, it's really bitey, and my mouth ended up hurting. Like, not just my mouth, you know, if you eat something spicy and your mouth hurts, that's one thing. But like, the skin around my face was hurting, and I'm like, that's probably an allergic reaction. I'm gonna stop. But ever since, my nose has been really itchy. And I put a heap of pepper in this. So my nose was like just starting to settle down. And then I started eating this, and now my nose is really itchy again. So that's why I keep like annoying my nose. It's 2 AM, can't make real food. I mean, to be fair, I did read a thing once that said if you gotta eat something past like 10 PM, cereal's a good choice because it's usually easy to digest. And you know that whole thing about like if your tummy's too full, or like you've eaten food that's really hard to digest right before you go to sleep, like your sleep quality is less? I don't actually know if that's true. I've always heard that, but I don't actually know for sure. Probably disappointing that you only have cereal, but also possibly good for you if you're trying to get back to sleep after this, or get to sleep after this. Violet, hello, how you doing? Yes, I'm streaming 2 weeks in a row. It's a miracle. You can tell I'm back to like an actual schedule. Hey. How you doing, Violet? Let me see if I can show you this dog right now. Hello. This is how he begs for food. He just puts his head on my leg and he's like, oh, hello. Hello. What you doing? You want something? Yes, you're very cute. You are very cute, I promise. You can't have this. There's all kinds of things in this that are bad for you. Yeah. One of these days I'll hook up the other camera as an actual Toby cam, but I also was considering taking it to work because I've been using my MacBook camera, and my new MacBook is a 13-inch MacBook, which is tiny. And so anytime in a call and my MacBook's on the table, I'm like looking down at it at such an angle that I feel like I'm looming over the video call, which is weird and I don't like it. Even I had a 15.6-inch MacBook before. I still have, that's my personal one now. But it's so much better, like that little bit extra height is so much better for the angle for video calls. But the 13-inch is just, no. I may yet get a laptop stand instead, but then I have to use a normal keyboard. But can you need today and it drained my brain? Mood. I was saying just before, I was writing legal documents today, like contracts in legal speak. So yes, same. It's something I can do, and I'm apparently decent at thinking through, yeah, like clauses and catches and things. And I did volunteer, so, but no. News. I'm being paid to write things. I think Sneaky already knew about this because I mentioned it somewhere, but I wrote an article and I'm getting paid for it. And I've wrote it on Sunday. I think Saturday or Sunday. And I sent the draft in yesterday. And I got feedback today. And it's pretty good. In the end, all the things that were like, oh, we should probably improve this, were all things I'd already, like, I was like, yeah, these things are weak, we need to fix this. So, gonna have to go back to the drawing board a little bit, because basically the word limit I was given is too short for the topic. Like, we need to go more in depth, and I cannot go more in depth in the topic in the word limit. So I've got to, yeah, we're rearranging stuff. So it's for the blog of the company I used to work for, who I actually did write a few articles for while I was there, which was always fun, like juggling that with all my other duties. But yeah, I got an email a couple weeks back that they were like, I talked to them, I talked to the writer at my previous job before I left, because we actually had like a series of articles I was sort of helping her with that they were just planning, they hadn't actually gotten to writing yet. And she was like, oh, how am I gonna write these without you? Dramatic reenactment, but anyway. And then, yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I can write some things for the company, I don't mind, whatever. And then, yeah, a couple weeks back, I got an email and they were like, hey, do you want to write some articles? We'll pay you. So yeah, that's been a thing that's been happening. I had to get I think, no, Riptide got the whole, I had to get an ABN, which I didn't actually end up needing, but it's still probably a good idea to have it. Anyway, I got an ABN, that was a whole thing. Government websites, basically, that was fun. But yeah, so I'm writing technical articles, like tech writing articles for the company I used to work for, which may become an actual thing, just freelance writing, get some extra money in. So yeah, I had considered going into just tech writing as my like next job instead of what I've done now. Decided not to in the end after I had a lot of advice from a lot of people, and like it's like art. It's like any kind of artistic career where you need like a portfolio to get a good job in it. And I don't really have a decent portfolio yet, so that's the other thing. I'm like, if I like work on my portfolio slowly for the next couple of years and then have a decent portfolio when I next looking for a job, or I can just write a book and publish a book and get rich that way. That would be great. But yeah, so I got feedback today on my first paid article and it was all good, and I do have to go do some revisions. I'll probably do a little bit of that tonight after the stream, but overall feedback was good, so yay. That was a fun thing that happened today. I actually had a brief call with the writer lady from my previous job, who was like, you know, we went through the feedback a little bit and stuff like that. But yes, writing and getting paid for my writing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous how excited I am about this. I've written for this company before. It's just, I guess it was part of my job, sort of. So it didn't really register as exciting. And now it's like, no, I'm specifically getting contracted to write for them. This is cool. Thank you, Sneaky. So, if anyone's ever wow. Just talking about writing for money, and yet I can't string a sentence together right now. If anyone's ever looking for a side hustle, tech writing pays pretty well, as it turns out. It's not like big money, and you get paid per article, so you have to do a heap of, you'd have to do like an article every day or two to get like a, oh, not even that. Yeah, an article every like 2 days to get a decent wage, I guess. But still, that's not bad. So thank you, Pilot. Yeah, it was interesting once I started looking into it, like freelance tech writing. And tech writing here meaning like, there's not returning to tech as in like software tech, although half the time it is. Tech writing is technical writing in that it's geez, I just figured I don't actually know how to explain this. It's like you actually have to learn how to do tech writing. It is a skill set. There's a whole bunch of like terminology and strategies and all this other stuff you have to learn. Like even today when I got my feedback back, literally the first sentence was like, this needs to be a stronger lead, L-E-D-E, which I'd seen on the original outline, and I hadn't looked it up. And it was like, oh, no, lead is that is a term for a specific, like, kind of sentence. And I was like, damn it, yeah, okay, I didn't do that right. I've looked that up before, and I knew that, and it just completely slipped my brain. But yeah, technical writing is like writing per a set of guidelines or standards or something. That's probably, you can get qualifications in technical writing, and it allows you to do things like blog articles, but also like writing documentation, manuals, all kinds of things. So yeah, I don't know, I kind of find it just fun. My sense of assisting with knowledge management. Yeah, exactly. Like that would be that kind of thing. Like when you really get into it, you start going into things like information architecture and like user flows and all this kind of stuff, which I have some knowledge of, mostly just from talking to tech writers. I have no qualifications in this yet. But it's kind of fascinating when you really get down into it, and it's like learning how to structure information in order to make it the easiest for people to find it, read it, understand it. Also, a lot of it comes back to people aren't going to read everything. Like, nobody reads the manual. You have to make it super easy for them to find the specific thing they need, while also giving them enough context that they can actually understand that piece without reading too much more. And then also for the people who do want to read the whole thing, you have to give them ways. It's a whole, like, just accounting for every kind of person who could read your thing possible, which is quite fun. Yeah, they won't read it. Yeah, exactly. Just is like, Alpha, hello. What's up with your laptop? Like full on dead or? Pilot, it probably helps that I sort of lucked into, I only had it for one term in high school. One term? 2 terms? I can't remember. There was an English teacher at my high school who was incredibly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if she had technical writing qualifications. And like the English teacher I normally had was very big on spelling and grammar, and actually made us do spelling tests until like the last week at grade 12, which I'm very appreciative of. But this other teacher, which I got just during like English rotations, was very big on structure and the technical aspects of writing. And things like, she drilled into us the exact structure of an essay, like the optimal technical proper structure of an essay is this. And I think ever since then, I've had this interest in, oh, there is a science. There is literally an entire science behind writing and every form of writing. And this year in particular, I've been studying fiction writing and fantasy and sci-fi in particular, because they use the same kinds of theories, whereas as soon as you get into romance and things, they use different, like it is literally a science. There is theories to writing, and they differ by genre, and they differ by, it's like this whole thing. Can you tell I've been going down this rabbit hole a little bit lately? But yeah, my like grade 11 Shakespeare English teacher introduced me to this concept of technical writing. And ever since, I've been kind of like, I don't actively go looking for it most of the time, but I've been kind of on the lookout for like learning about technical writing. And so that's helped a lot. I also, honestly, it just helped a lot with uni. Like knowing this is the structure of a essay. This is the structure of a, it's the kind of piece when you're trying to convince someone of something. Can't remember. Anyway, there's like all these different structures, and it's like, this is like the optimum accepted structure for this thing. And it's like, oh cool, okay, so I have an assignment, it's asking for an essay, I just plug things into the structure, done. Like, it's really, well, at least for me, it was really helpful to know. And I'm slightly mad that it seems like so many other people just aren't taught any of this stuff, because then you don't have to sit there and figure out how to structure your essay. You know how to structure your essay. You're just shoving stuff in the template. Especially when there's a specific line in bold. Oh yeah, you've like done all you can possibly do to highlight the thing that they're really gonna need, and they still ignore it anyway. Yeah. Put orange juice on. Oh no. Has it been dead since Tuesday, or has it just been slowly getting worse, Alpha? If for some reason anyone ever wants me to rant about writing and the science of writing, please let me know, because I will gladly do that for way too long. This will be like when people get me onto blockchain topics. It's probably even worse, actually. I also know less about technical writing than I do about blockchain, in terms of like the actual proper terms for things and the like proper way you're meant to explain stuff. But I feel like a lot of it I just kind of picked up. I know it's there, so I've just been like slowly picking things up. There's a Wednesday, plugging in the charger so it didn't, then died. Right. You sent it off. Oh, you've sent it off to support or something. Well, that's good. That's good that you're able to do that. This pasta is so good. Oh my god. It's like a cheap packet mix from, I think this one's from Aldi, actually. And then I just added a bunch of sugar. And it's so good. Look. Tea on my laptop once. Oh jeez. I somehow never managed to do that. Despite how clumsy I usually am. Despite how precariously I'm often sitting with my laptop and my tea and my food and whatever. I don't think... Okay, no. I've spilled a drink on my laptop once, like 5 years ago. It was an old laptop. It was water, and there was like 2 mouthfuls left in the cup. So it was fine. Yeah. How does stuff go? It really does. I just... Did you... Wait, Pilot, did you see... Wait, did I mention in the Discord? I don't know. I went to Aldi a couple of months back during my big holiday because they had containers. I needed some new like food containers, mostly for the freezer. And Georgia recommended a bunch because she bought a bunch from Aldi and they were great and they were back at Aldi. So I went to Aldi one afternoon intending to only buy a few containers and a couple of other items of food that I needed, like milk and stuff. So I ended up, I'd only taken one like cloth bag with me because I didn't think I'd need more than that. And I ended up with it like, it's a big cloth bag as well. I ended up with it overstuffed and like groaning at the seams and stuff sitting on top, and then also just carrying a few things in my arm as well down to the car. Thankfully I'd driven there instead of walking, so I just had to go down to the car and like unload it all. But I bought so much because it's so dangerous. They just have so much good stuff. So hello, how you doing? We were just talking about writing. What's the topic? What's the paper on? Did I ever show you all the teapot I got? Hang on. Let me show you. Let me show you the cast iron Aldi teapot that I bought. Look at this thing. Look at it. It's so pretty. And it's a fully functioning teapot. Like there is There's a tea leaf thing in here, and it's a good one too. Like, it's better than some of my other ones that I've bought. It's better than the one I have from T2. And that thing's heavy. Like, oh my goodness. But it's so good. Oh yeah, and this like turns and everything. I'm just waiting to use it. But I've just had it sitting on the bench as a decoration ever since. So, no, it's not. This is like legit. It is definitely legit. I was looking at it when I got it, and I'm like, Audi definitely has like their rip-off cheap stuff, but not this. Like, holy crap. Toby, why are you excited? That's not for you. What are you doing? Toby thought the teapot was for him. I am just using it as a decoration, so I mean that probably helps. But I have also seen, I'm really amused now, I've seen 2 restaurants around here that are using those teapots if you order tea. Hello? Hey Toby, wanna say hi? Yeah, up here, up here. He's like, no, there's food on your desk. What are you trying to get at? No, that's my wine. You can't have that. Hello. Hi. I haven't actually finished my food, you know. Hello. He's like, why are you making me sit up? Still out or gone? I don't know. But this was like 2 months ago. So I don't know if they would. Comprehensive quality improvement. What is that for, Rick? I'm really curious. I'm trying to figure out if this is like a quality assurance kind of thing, or like, I'm so confused. You were very hyped about that teapot, weren't you? What did you think was happening? Why are you staring at my keyboard? Hello? T-Wolf movie is coming out Australia Day next year. Oh my goodness. I still can't decide whether or not I'm keen for that. Immediate regret opening outing. Oh no. No, Sneaky, why did you tell me this? Georgia has this air fryer. My parents have an air fryer. Ham has an air fryer. Everyone keep talking about how good their air fryers are. And I'm like, I kind of want to get one, but at the same time, I have no space on my counter to put it. And I have I have 2 cupboards. One cupboard for big appliances and one cupboard for little appliances. And I promised myself that I would only, like, I would not buy appliances that didn't fit in those cupboards. If I want to buy a new appliance, I have to get rid of something I already have. And both those cupboards are very full. So I kind of want one, but I'm also like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd cook in it. I mean, I kind of do, like chips and stuff, but sorry, were you comfy and I upset you? Aww. I'm pretty sure these days Toby just climbs on my lap because it's the easiest way to get me to put my feet up on the ottoman so he can lie between my feet. Except as soon as I then move one of my feet, because it's not actually comfortable to sit like this, he gets all upset. He's all sad. You gonna show them your sad face? You gonna show them your sad face? They can't see it properly, can they? Because the angle's not right. Oh, hi. Yes. Why are you sulking? Hello. You're the one who wanted to climb down. Are you happy? Are you happy? That is not a good way to say it. Broomy! Oh, sorry. I gotta put my webcam back up. Broomy, hello. How you doing? He had his ears like all the way back when I first grabbed the webcam, and then he got excited about webcam. So, sadly for supply. Oh, I see. Rick, I don't think even I could get excited about writing that article, I'm afraid. Much as I like writing and will happily write about completely random topics. Yeah. How could you do this? He doesn't seem to understand that this is not comfortable for me. Short term, yes. Long term, my feet go to sleep. Both of them. So, what are you doing? I'm streaming. Oh yeah, I meant to check something. So, sadly, that light is dead. I didn't use it for ages because I wasn't really streaming. And then I went to charge it the other day and it flickered when I plugged it in and then it just died. And it's meant to stay red while it's charging. So I was like, well, all right. It was only 20 bucks from Spotlight, but also I'm kind of sad because it's a cool little cube light. But I was looking at other lights the other day. And I just realized earlier, I don't remember if I actually bought them or not. Like, I was looking at them, but did I actually hit buy? I don't think I did. Because I think I was shopping on... I was shopping on Amazon. And I think I, like, couldn't log in properly or something? What was it? Doing it right? How old is Toby now? Almost 6. He'll be 6 in November. Month and 3 days. He'll be 6. So, he's getting there. He's getting a bit older. Huh. No, I have not bought the light. Well, that's annoying. Actually, what do you guys think? So, the thing that prompted this was I was watching Linus Tech Tips, as you do. And he was setting up and decorating like a gaming room for his kids, which was hilarious because his kids are like so unimpressed. They were just like, oh yeah, cool, thanks dad. Bye, I'm gonna go play games now. But he'd gotten like, I think they'd gotten sponsored by a crowd that does, you know, RGB lights and all that stuff. And I was looking at it and I'm like, you know what, I just discovered that light was broken. And I was like, damn it, I want a light. I liked it when this had like the purple background. So yeah, I was looking at their lights. And they do all the typical things with like the strip of RGB lights and like a stand light in the corner. And now I'm torn between getting like a proper one of these that should actually last a while, or getting like an RGB strip and putting it on the back of the bookshelf. Because also that is on the wall, by the way. This cupboard is backed. It just happens to be backed with white painted wood because I don't know, Dad and I thought that was a good idea at the time. So yeah. What do you guys think? Do you have any thoughts on light cube versus strip at the back of the bookshelf? I can't decide what I prefer. The cube's kind of interesting. Like, it's more interesting than just lights. But also I don't know how to get one that isn't just gonna die on me again. Oh, Grimmy. Since I think the last time I saw you, you were on your way to Loon. I should let you know, I might DM you where it is, but I found a place around here that now does house-made Nutella croissants. And oh, they were so good. So good. Like, I think I prefer their croissant to Loon, and it's a third of the price. So Rubik's Cube was a nice color. As in an actual Rubik's Cube? A Rubik's Cube somewhere here somewhere. Yeah, they opened a little while back and they've been slowly expanding the menu, and they did great crepes. I'm not sure if they still do because a crepe place opened up. But hang on, let me find you in my DMs. What the heck do you go by on Discord these days? I should just go to the Queensland server and check. That'll be the easiest way, won't it? There you are. What's it called? There it is. Oh wow, they're on... Well, that's dangerous. Apparently they're on Uber Eats now. Alright, there you go. I always forget the name because the name's really awkward for me. I don't want to say the name because I don't like giving away where I live on stream and stuff. But the name of the cafe is the two owners' names, like the couple who runs it. And you know how, like, so it's name and name. And you know how when you hear two names of something or like two nouns or anything in it, you know when you hear two words and they just instinctively feel like they're in the wrong order? It's that. I know I've looked this up before, and there is an actual thing about in the English language there are rules that we all kind of just instinctively know for the order in which words should appear relative to each other. And usually it's like nouns and verbs and all that kind of stuff. But it's also like if you're describing something and you're like it's brown and big and blah blah blah, like there is an order that words are meant to be in. Most people have no idea that this is a thing, but we all do it because we're all used to it. Anyway, they've got the lady's name and the guy's name, like lady and guy. It just feels wrong. So every time I try to remember the name of this damn cafe, I can't remember it because my brain just balks at... Yeah, see? Remy, it's not just me. And everyone I've met is like, either they can't remember the name of the cafe because it feels wrong, or they remember like one of the two names in the name of the cafe, but not the other one. Or they do what I do, which is remember them in the other order. Yeah, it's the end of the world. I have no idea what that is, Alpha. Also, I don't tend to do reactions, really. Cat talks to Alpha. I'm trying not to. I have occasionally mentioned things that I meant not to mention, but I mean, I also don't. It's not like I'm super, super precious about it. I'd just really rather not. So, I did grow up in the age where everyone was like, do not share your private, like your real name or anything, or any like private details online because blah blah blah. These days everyone seems really okay with that. Every time I see someone's profile and they've got like, oh my god, people who, I see someone's profile and they have like their full name, where they live, pronouns, like maybe what school they go to or something, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Oh, it's just every time it freaks me out, especially having had, like, I studied security at uni. That was part of my software degree, was security. So this is like something that's being drilled into me, and I'm just like, I can't. No, please don't. Toby was like burying himself into the blanket that's sitting on the ottoman, and then I picked up the food and he's like, oh, there's food on the line? Did you know, right? I feel like this, like, as part of like typing classes in what, grade 3 or something, we were taught you don't put your real info online. Like, you just don't. This is one of the reasons I'm used to answering by cat or one of 5 other names, because I've used a whole bunch of different names online and I never use my real name. I use my real name for work stuff and it feels really weird. Like, and I try to not when I can get away with it. Like, I have a username for my work stuff and I try to use that as much as I can. But like, I've seen so many people just put like, and like birthday, people will put their birthday, or like every time I see one of those memes, whatever you want to call it, you know, the things where people are like, find out your superhero name or something, and it's a big list of like days and months, like dates and months, and you're meant to come up with a name or whatever by like, you know, your birthday. Every time I see one of those and I see a bunch of people answer, I'm like, don't. It'll take someone 5 seconds to reverse engineer your birthday. Like, no. That I live in, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, everyone knows that I live in Brisbane, but I tend to be at least a little obscure about where exactly I live. There's only so obscure I can be when I live in the city, but yeah. Like I'd never have my webcam facing the other way, because then you'd be able to see the skyline outside, which, yeah, no, it's very recognizable. I was about to say, I don't think it's that recognizable, and then I realized that like the one skyscraper that I have a clear view on has a giant sign, like a giant light up sign with its name on it. And I'm like, never mind. I've seen so many memes and things that are just people, like, it's a fun little thing to do, but also it gives away personal info. I'm like, I don't know if they started as a fun little thing or they started as people fishing for information, but either way, I wish they didn't exist. Like, I don't know what it's like on like TikTok and stuff. I don't have a TikTok account, so I have no idea what's like on there. I assume it might be pretty bad though, because I know a lot of the younger generation seem to be on there, and their younger generation seem to be less aware of internet safety. But even on Twitter, I see so many profiles and I'm like, you really shouldn't have half of that on there. Traps like TikTok as well. I'm not surprised. I don't quite understand TikTok. I saw a thing earlier. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole on like history stuff, and then it went into weird like went into slightly weird. It started as history. I started at the history of the Silk Road, and somehow I ended up on a video that was like, YouTube's gonna die in the next 5 years. I was like, what? And I'm pretty sure they were just padding most of the video with like the history of YouTube, because they just ran on about the history of YouTube for ages. But one of the things that they were talking about was like, YouTube took so many years to gain so many users, and meanwhile TikTok's gained that many in the last 6 months, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel like TikTok's a different audience and a different crowd than YouTube. Like, there's definitely a lot of overlap. But I don't think YouTube's gonna die anytime soon unless they do something completely egregious. Fun traps that all your information to the wrong. Yeah, it's like, what was the old one? It's like, it's more subtle, but it just always reminds me of the things that are like, God, I've seen things like, post your phone number, and then look through all the replies and see if you can find your phone number neighbor, who is a person who has like a number that it's one above or one below yours. Or like, I've seen it the same thing with credit cards. I saw a screenshot of the same thing with credits. Literally people posting photos of their credit card and being like, hey, where's my credit card neighbor? I'm like, really? Really? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the triggers as well. Like that one, that's not even so much a privacy one. That's just if anyone ever gets mad at you, you're just handing them ammunition. Like, You don't even need to worry about people who actually want to like steal your identity or sell your data or anything at that point. You're just having to worry about bullies. Like, no? I know I've posted things on Twitter occasionally in the last like year about some of the stuff that I've been dealing with mental health wise. But I'm pretty sure even when I posted like the twit longer or whatever, I still skirted around like what my actual triggers are these days. Because my friends know, the friends that I meet up in real life with all the time, they all know how to deal with it. It's fine. Nobody else needs to know. So, no idea why you left Twitch, but let's stream and see me moving to YouTube for the money recently. I left Twitch because I got sick of all their BS. There was just a whole bunch of scandals and bad news and shit last year. Do you remember the all the hate raids? Those are the like racist hate raids last year. I wasn't even affected by it, but that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Hey, hello, how you doing? And just a lot of stuff, and like I wanted to make YouTube videos, but then being on Twitch as well was just splitting my time and blah blah blah. Anyway, I just went screw it. I wasn't that attached to my affiliate contract anyway, so I moved to YouTube, and now I stream on YouTube and I make videos as well, and it's fun. I am actually enjoying it a lot more. I don't exactly know why. I do just feel a lot freer on YouTube to just do whatever the hell I want. Hence all the just completely random videos I've been making just to try things and practice and see what I like doing and see what people like watching. Whereas I think Twitch was like, I think there's expectations when you're on Twitch, even especially as a streamer, of like how much you'll stream, and even like your personality on Twitch. Like, yes, if you're streaming, you kind of have to be entertaining either way, but there's like genres of streamer, and it's almost this weird thing of like, you need to be one of these to be successful. And I never super cared about being successful, but at the same time it was like, well, successful. But at the same time I was like in that environment and kept hearing all the stuff. I'm like, you know what, screw this. So yeah, now I'm on YouTube. It's great. And I'm also, to be fair, also, I follow a lot of the people who talk about like Twitch versus YouTube a lot. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff from them for quite a while. One of them jumped ship from Twitch to YouTube a few months before I did. And everything they've been saying for like 2 years now has come true. Like, it's all starting to come to a head, and I'm like, I'm glad that I, you know, got out ahead of the trend. You watched that? Yeah, it was, I really had no idea what I was doing. I did try to play it the other night, when I was playing with Con, but we were playing on Museum, and it just felt, it didn't feel right. So I'm starting to think, one, I just need more practice, but two, I'm getting the feeling that even if I do practice Carbon and like get good at it, it's gonna be a weapon I'm willing to pull out on certain maps and modes. Because Museum, I think, like with all the like the dropping down into mid, and I don't know, I just kept dying. Also, I think our team didn't have quite enough painting ability, because I was trying to be a sneaky Carbon, and I couldn't, because we couldn't get mid painted. So yeah. As a Toby, that's pretty successful. This is true. This is true. I get the feeling she main Blob. I have tried to play Blob a couple of times in Splat 3 so far, and it was fun. I was also definitely playing it on not the optimal maps, aka Mahi. My blobs just kept going in the ocean, and I'm like, well, this is silly. Like, it worked, but yeah. I have been playing Machine, actually, quite a bit, which has been going decently. I definitely need to, I need practice, as with anything. But yeah, Machine's going pretty good. I'm really glued to I mean, I have like 80% playtime with Splash at the moment. So yeah. Regular Fling's a roller, Carbon is too. See, that was my feeling in Splat 2. But Carbon feels different in 3, and I'm not sure if that's just me imagining things, because I haven't played Carbon in S2 in 2 years. but it felt better. And I definitely do want to try regular and flingser. I get the feeling I'm still not going to fly. I think the problem is, so in Splatoon 1, I actually tried to learn all the rollers at one point, and I was playing all the rollers at one point. But I ended up going with Dynamo as my main roller. And ever since, I found that I struggle to play any roller that's on like the Dynamo end of the spectrum, which is where flingser sits in my mind, because my brain just starts thinking it's a Dynamo. It's like when I'm playing bloody NZAP and Splash, like half of the time I just end up playing one of them like the other one, and I'm like, wait, no. So I think that might be part of why Carbon might work for me, is that you play it so differently to Dynamo in many ways that I can actually differentiate it in my brain. Does that make sense? I'm never going to be able to play like two very similar weapons and be able to play both of them optimally and just like switch between them. I just can't. So yeah, 50-50 Clash and Sploosh for me. Oh my goodness. I mean, why not? Playstyle is both a tank tart. What do you mean? Is there chicken block? There is a distinct lack of chicken weapons. I am mad. I do not have a chicken NZAP, and I can play the current NZAP. It's fine, but Tacticooler is a weird special, and I'm dealing with it okay on tower, like tower control. It's fine. Like suction and Tacticooler works, whatever. Rainmaker, good. Tactical is kind of nice, the buff's kind of nice. But clams and zones, particularly zones. I don't know what it is about this NZAP. I cannot play it on zones. And for some reason I keep getting, like every time I boot up the game to play, it's zones. All my rank up matches have been zones. I don't know why. I do play other modes, I swear. I've just been getting like 80% zones. So I've been playing mostly Splash, because Splash is good in this game. Like Crab Tank, oh my goodness, I love it so much. I was really amused because I kept hearing people going, Crab Tank's not great. And then the number of clips I have of just massacring people with Crab Tank. I'm just like, and almost every game I've been in where I've had more than one Splash on my team, we've won. Almost every, like, I had a game where we had 3 splashes and a sploosh and we annihilated the other team. So, I don't know, Splash is just so nice. It feels really smooth. I don't know what they've changed. I was ranting about it to Grace and Con in the first like week. Something feels different about, so the shots in Splatoon, from what I know, there's a, like they go straight for so long and then they fall off for so long and like so far. And it feels like that ratio is different. Like I think the overall fire length is the same, but the ratio of straight to fall off feels different. I think there's less fall off. Anyway, it feels better. Splash feels really nice. I'm really keen to play it. So, oh, Mum's calling. Hang on. Heads up, I am actually streaming. Mum called. That was what happened. Usually Mum calls on Tuesdays because I usually don't stream on Tuesdays, but now yeah. Neon Skit, welcome. How you doing? Sorry, Neon, you like appeared right as Mum called. Hello. What are you all excited about? You excited about Mum calling? My parents are gonna visit, and we're gonna go to Panayiri and get food. Well, my parents are gonna visit for Panayiri. We're gonna go get food. We're gonna bring it back here, and we're gonna have a feast. This is the plan. So that was like, Mum was like, we're exhausted because we're doing all this Reno stuff and you'll have to come out and see it. Also, Panayiri. I'm like, yes. So hey, I got Panayiri plans now. Okay, I can't move. I can't reach far enough to move the webcam. He's like sitting with his head just off the edge. Yeah, what did I miss? What did I miss? Crab tank is the best special. It's ridiculous. It really. I love to be like, I love firing a shot, closing into the ball, and then like rolling slightly, and then popping back out to fire another. I don't. There's something about that animation that I just love. It's so much fun. Just kind of in a slump at the moment. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm taking a little bit of a short break from Splatoon at the moment because that's why I'm not streaming it tonight. I considered it, but I wasn't. I will do it if I feel like it at some point during the stream, but I'm not planning to because I just played so much the first month it was out that I'm kind of like, I need a short break. I'm not burnt out yet, but I need a break before I do burn out. Sorry, dog, what are you doing? Hi. Yeah, go on. Come on, you can't stand on my knees like that. You're gonna break my knees one of these days. Oh, get down on your ottoman. Silly dog. They changed ways of damage and so that's the only versions targets hit on their screen. We're not shoot to hit them. Interesting. I hadn't heard that. Thank you for that, Pilot. That's interesting to know. Need to see your mom again sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since. I mean, even I haven't seen them in a while. We just kept missing each other, and they've been away a heap. So, haven't played on my Switch for a while. I should play again. What would you be playing? Panayiri began Greek food on Thursday. Still cats? Close enough. Why not? Really difficult. Really difficult one-shot thing with crab for that. What do you mean by that, Skit? Now I'm really curious. PC game, it's been really... Overwatch? Ah, yes. That's right, I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about that being out. I haven't really... I played Overwatch very briefly. Years ago. So I don't know too much, but... Overwatch? Oh no. You've been enjoying it? Have they really changed much from the previous game? I have no idea of what the heck they've done with Overwatch 2, but I assume it's improved somehow. Haze! Hello, how you doing? Also, I'm amused that I'm still eating dinner. It's been an hour. This isn't a surprise, I don't think, for anyone. What was it before again? 4v4 or 6v6? I can't remember. 6v6? That would be better, because I always did fine with the... That was one of my biggest things, was Overwatch just had so much happening and so much to keep track of. I couldn't. And so just, yeah, reducing that, like 5v5 would be definitely one less tank. Yeah, I can see how that'd help a lot, actually. Okay. Hold CR out of rolling with crab and then immediately R. Hang on. I work off muscle memory, so I've got to be like, hang on, which buttons are those? I know which buttons they are in theory, but I'm just trying to think how I'd input that. Yeah. Hold CR out of rolling crab and then media. Skit, I have a feeling I've been doing that by accident. Like, I don't know why, because I usually fail terribly at any kind of like button combo thing. I'm still failing at the new jump mechanic, like the backtracking jump thing. I can do it perfectly in the practice range, but as soon as I get into a game, I just forget it's a thing. But there's something about Crab Tank that my brain, it just clicked. My brain was like, I have all these options. All right, let's go. Definitely not like consciously though, so thank you for telling me, because now I'm gonna have to practice that because that sounds fun. It sounds like some of the bullshit I do with like splash and burst bombs. Like there's one of the reasons I like burst bombs so much is I tend to combo it with my main weapon, which if you're not doing that with burst bombs, what are you doing? But yeah, I was just thinking that through and I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Screw around and Togo. I've been doing that so much as well. Like, I guess that's one good thing about having practice in the range so much is that it's starting to get into like instinctive muscle memory, I guess. Every now and then I'm like, I need to move this way real quick, and I just accidentally do a squid roll. But like, I'm not consciously remembering to do it. But I guess that's kind of the thing with these kind of games. Like, I always jump all the bloody time because that is a purely unconscious habit that I formed in Splat 1 that I've just never been able to shake. Mainly difficult just because landing the bomb direct and single reticle in bullet is very hard. That's fair. That's probably something that because of the kinds of weapons and things I've played previously, I guess for me, like, Crab Tank was pretty easy to figure out aim. I'm definitely still, oh my goodness, how slow it is to turn if you're actually just firing and the like kind of wind up on the shots. I get exasperated with that sometimes because I'm like, God damn it, why is it so slow? But also if they didn't do that, it would be broken as all hell. So I don't know. Haven't bought it. Don't know if I should. I love it. 3. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about 3 Neon. Yeah. Octo expansion is the main thing. Yeah. But I'm like, they're gonna bring out an Octo expansion for 3. They must. But yeah, 3 is amazing. I am loving it. I feel like there is a lot of changes to it that the game's needed, and I can understand why they needed to release a new game and not just put it into 2. One, there's just a million more things to do. Like, even just the addition of table turf. It's like, if you get bored of shooting things, you can go play a card game. Why not? Lockers to decorate. I spent like I was playing with Con the other day, and the one was like, all right, I gotta stop. I gotta like get up early tomorrow or something. And then I'm sitting in VC with Con, and he reminded me about something to do with lockers. And then I end up spending the next half an hour sitting there messing with my locker and like moving a sticker over by like 2 mil and replacing a box with a different kind of box. I'm just like, but also just like the new mechanics, a lot of the little things they've added, like the entire replay feature is amazing. Holy shit. So it's not just John, hello, how you doing? Like, if anyone hasn't played around with replays yet, it's not just a replay of your perspective of the game. It is the entire spectator mode recorded for the match. So you can play a match, you can go to the replays, and then you can watch it back from someone else's point of view, from an overhead point of view, from like at double speed. You can go through and clip different pieces out. You can watch a piece over and over and over from different perspectives to see what happened. Like, it gets deleted when update. Does it? I didn't actually know that. That would explain why I had so few replays the other day when I was looking, because I didn't check it. Posing videos of replay mode. I am intending to make one. So I wasn't sure if, okay, well, here's a question. If I did a video rambling about replay, would people watch it? Because I have thoughts, including as a tournament organizer, I have thoughts about how this could be really cool for tournaments. I don't know how replay holds up to lag, which is like how it represents lag in the replay, which would be interesting to find out. But I was thinking about doing a video about replay, because there's just so much in it. Like, whether you're trying to get better at Splatoon, or you want to like learn a new weapon, or you just want to look at strats, or whatever, there's so much in there. So A+ rank after doing, hey, congrats, John, congrats. Kind of wrong with wait. Something feels like what Splat 2 should have been. I love Splat. Hindsight really does feel like Splatoon 1. Yeah, it was like Splatoon 1 with a different skin and a few fixes. And then Splatoon 3, I guess it feels like they've actually rethought a bunch of things from the ground out. Can you select servers on Splatoon 3? Yeah, only Splatfest. Which is still something. But, because Splatoon's still a peer-to-peer game more than anything, so servers don't matter that much. Like, your connection to the host, like whichever player is hosting the game, is more important. What are the TO thoughts? One, disputes around DCs and lag and people playing things. You've got replays, you can request a replay, someone can just share it via code, which is amazing. If you have any kind of really particular weird rules that you're going with and you're trying to enforce them and one team says that another team didn't follow them, replays. Also, on the less moderaty side, highlight reels. If you have a tournament, and I would say probably get a TO or some other staff member to sit in spectator for the games so that they have the replay rather than having to rely on the players. But also this applies to players as well. If really cool stuff happens during a tournament, you don't need to be recording the whole time. You don't need to worry about, did you catch like the right moments and all this stuff. You can literally, like, it's gonna take a lot of time, but you can sit there and go through the replays afterwards, and like, if a really cool fight happened or a really cool push happened or something, you can literally show it from 9 perspectives, every player and top view. Do specs get the replays? That's a good question. I assumed they do. I will have to test that one. What about people being able to cancel private? Yeah, that as well. Like the private battles as well is something I need to look into. I haven't actually done any yet, apart from that one time that Con and I were trading gear. But one spec is a little bit better in private battles from what I know. And yeah, you can pause a private battle, which is really, and in particular, you can pause a private battle and it pops up a message for everyone in the room saying who paused it. So I do know if you, one of the Oceanic TOs, I can't quite remember who, mentioned that they'd added rules for their tournament about not abusing PB pause. However, if you have a DC early on, or if you have, say, weapon restrictions in a match, and someone is very obviously breaking the rules or lagging super bad or whatever, instead of having to play out the game, people can just pause the set and just restart it and just save time by not having to play an extra minute or whatever just to get out of the bloody room. So, thanks for being so like you get to pick your region for it. Oh, that'd be neat. Huh. Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna do that. So, because apparently we've got X rank coming and League, which I'm curious what form that's gonna take. But I did have the thought, was this when I was streaming last week? I don't remember. When you're in the menu in the lobby, you have the single player version of the menu, and then you have the with friends version of the menu, right? And in the single player version, you have PBs, turf, series, open. And when you go to with friends, it's still got all the options, but series is grayed out, like you can't click it. And I'm wondering if League is going to be the with friends version of series. rather than another separate thing altogether. Because the fact that that's in the menu but grayed out, like maybe they just wanted to keep all the items there so that you can easily flick between friends and solo. But it still seems a little weird to me, and it feels a little weird that they'd add another option to the menu when they have that one there that they could use. So I'm kind of thinking that the new League equivalent is going to be series with friends. Don't record every match and just record. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like all the videos I've been putting up of matches, that's all replay. That's the honestly, that's been kind of good for my mental health as well. Because I used to record, well, also my hard drive space. I used to record like every time I played Splatoon, like just in case, you know, something cool happened, so I'd be able to clip it later and blah 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 and all. And I have hundreds of hours of recordings on my computer that I'm never going to actually dig through. Like I'm not. That's not a thing that's going to happen. And also, because I was always recording, I always had that thing in the back of my brain, like, oh, I've got to try and like play really well so I can turn this recording into a video. Or it was a little bit stressful. It's like playing on stream or playing for a tournament. You just have that little niggling thing at the back of your brain. So the fact I can just play, and I've added a channel in my Discord server, a private channel that only I can see, where I've been putting timestamps for matches that, like, when I finish a match, if I go, yeah, that was really good, I throw a timestamp in there. And then later, provided I don't leave it too long and the replay's gone, I can just go back and record the replay and make a video of that. And that's just it's been so much better for me being able to play and just relax. And I don't have to go digging through a whole bunch of footage later because I only record the matches that I actually care about. So apparently data miners have found code for a new Slapfest mode, could big wrong. Yeah, that was in the trailer. So I think it would be really cool if you customers. Ali actually had an interesting comment the other day of it would be appropriate, since we're not getting a Halloween Splatfest, to maybe get a Halloween big run. I don't know if it's implemented enough that we might actually get it that soon, and there is a Splatfest like 2 weeks later for the Pokemon thing. But if you were gonna do a big run, like a big Salmonids invading Splatsville event, surely an appropriate time for it would be Halloween. And that would mean we get a big run between the Splatfests. Like I reckon they're gonna alternate them. That would make sense. So I'm still holding out hope that might actually happen. But we'll see. Customize like sport time ability, cooldown, etc. Assuming TM or something in custom games. That'd make like hide and seek so much easier. If you could say, like you can't respawn. Imagine if you could do that. It'd be, Neon, now you're giving me ideas. It'd be so much easier than people like having, and you could just like actually end the game when everyone's been caught and stuff like that. That's when I woke up to this background song this morning. Oh, I can't even hear it right now. I forgot I muted it earlier. Here we go. Playing while relaxing has been great. I just sit in front of my TV and play now. I used my phone for VC for once last night. Yeah, I've definitely been finding it a lot better. It's still like, I'm still sitting at my desk, which is my streaming setup, so that's a little bit weird, but like, still good. Team me later about something? Yeah, if you want to. I may walk Toby and then fall asleep right after stream. We'll see, but you can always DM. If I'm awake, I'll answer. I just remember playing Splatoon 1 on my parents' TV screen, like a massive LCD thing, and it was just too big. Like I couldn't, because this was Splat 1, so it was gamepad, so it was wired. Pretty sure it was wired, or like it had to be wired often enough that that was the way to play. And so I had to sit too close to the TV to actually be able to process everything on the screen. Like I couldn't take in everything with how wide it was. But I couldn't sit far. If I sat back far enough to actually see everything, then like, yeah, the cable wouldn't reach or something. So I have all these memories of trying to play on a TV and just kind of hating it the whole time. And then the first time I played on a monitor, even though it was this tiny little crappy thing, I was like, this is so much easier. Oh god. I think my Wii U thing lasted like 20 minutes by the end without being plugged in. And if that died mid-match, you were so screwed. So, yeah. Okay, hello. Thank you, Neon. See you all. Have a good night. You see winding down? No, not just yet. It's only 8:30 for me. Oh, you're on daylight saving, aren't you? How was PAX, RJ? What did you end up doing? Most people I've talked to who have to deal with daylight saving don't seem to like it. Except Con. Jim! Hello, how you doing? Okay, that sounds great. Did many squids go? I know that, like, Pallet and Bev organized an, event and stuff. Somehow missed Con, though. Did Con actually go to PAX? I'm not sure he did. Toby, you were very jumpy this morning. Hey, what's going on? You good? No? Okay. Picture? I think so. My brain is just very... Oh yeah. Well, I saw it this morning. I haven't done the thing then. Ooh, Hess is gonna be visiting. No, now we need to recommend things. This always gets interesting. It's just losing it. Yeah, Queensland's ever. I feel like Con just played FF14 all weekend and something. Yeah, I feel like he did. Got to see a friend's show and it was really... Hey, nice! Get up to it, Pax was gaming. Told me here and then played it. I mean... It's cool seeing Splat tags early made up. Yeah, those look so good. Oh my god. Shockwave epics. Oh wow. Just now we'll be for my cousin's 21st. Oh. What do we recommend to... I always, every time people ask what to do in Brisbane, I'm like... I don't know. Well, I haven't been so soon after PAX. Yeah, that's fair. I have a little break from traveling for a little bit, RJ. I go to the Gold Coast instead. I mean, there's certainly a lot of things to do down there. If you don't, I don't know, I feel like I've been to the Gold Coast so much when I was younger, I'm just kind of like, eh. This is really pace stuff and things that no one really knows about. Yeah, like we're very chill overall, so this isn't getting a start. I feel like state capitals are playing past the casino. Yeah, the construction for that thing is you look at the Goma for a few minutes. Yeah, I did mention the island exhibit. I really want to see that. That'd be great. Means on holiday. I'm visiting seeing friends. My parents didn't put her down for 30 minutes also. Interesting. Why? I feel like as soon as you get outside of Brisbane proper, booking a hotel just becomes quite hard. In Sydney, I don't know what I would suggest. It's always the place you live. Like, I can almost immediately off the top of my head think of places to visit for Sydney and Melbourne, even though I don't live there, because I've been there as a tourist. But when you live in a city, you're always like, Just about Sydney having 2 casinos, let alone how many Las Vegas. I mean, at that point, it's just it's a tourist trap. Like the number of casinos is the draw. Expensive ride in the Firth. Yeah, I did that once when Alzy and wow, how did I forget his name? Alzy's brother. They came to visit and we did a ride in the Ferris wheel. It's the only time I've been on it. It was kind of cool, but also like, eh. Claire, yes, thank you. I knew it started with G and I couldn't remember. It's at least at least science. Oh yeah. I wasn't getting new footage on Discord. Mine's just very dead. Just never advertise it. You need to already have a community somewhere else. Really. Like, most of the people that are in my Discord server joined through Twitch. Like, Discord, you can't... Advertising a Discord, you can't advertise a Discord server by itself. It doesn't work. You have to have a community somewhere else and then drag them into Discord. It's the same thing as Twitch. Like, it's the same problem Twitch has. Twitch has zero discoverability. If you want to be a big Twitch streamer, you have to build a community elsewhere, like on Twitter or something where you are discoverable, or YouTube, and then drag people to it. I stopped really advertising my Discord ages ago, and I don't think anyone... We get like maybe one new person every couple of months. New people don't really join, and I'm fine with this. I have my community, and it's good. I like you all. Thank you, Pilot. I had a midnight turf for the server and it's only ever active when it's Splatfest or Tony. Yeah, like I run I have a lot of servers between like all the oceanic ones and then Riptide and all the other stuff I'm in. But pulling people to other sites is, yeah, that's the thing. Like you always have some conversion rate, like it's never going to be anywhere near 100%. You're lucky if you get 50%, I think. Depends. If there's some kind of like benefit for it, then people are more likely to join. Like I guess the benefit, if you're a Twitch streamer, the benefit of joining a Discord server, like, is of someone joining your Discord server is like the opportunity to chat with you more. But then you have to be a Twitch streamer who people want to chat with more. So it's like, yeah, that's. This is a little bit weird considering done thing as a community would be on as many platforms, but also I don't mind being a hidden gem. I mean, there's also value in being a bit of a cryptid, I guess. My thoughts immediately went to Neil Gaiman, who is on Twitter and on Tumblr and all these things, but he's also still just kind of a bit of a cryptid. And that's interesting as well. Like, you don't I hate referencing Dream or any of those people. I don't even know very much about them, but I did see stuff about the whole face reveal this week, and like, he's been big for ages and he's never shown his face, and I feel like that was part of the mystery around him. So the face reveal is an interesting choice, but eh. Didn't care about them. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I had no idea any of this stuff was happening, and then YouTube started like throwing videos about it at me, and I'm like, I guess I'll watch one of them, fine. And I watched one of them and that was a mistake, because then my entire feed was the bloody things for like 2 days. But anyway. Toby Fox, a German level cricket, I forgot. Yeah, like that was one thing. Because I mean, obviously I have my face on camera. But I have thought various times of what if I had never bought a webcam and I'd always play it, like streamed as a faceless streamer. And I think there's some interesting, like, fun things you can do with that, like play with it. But yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about internet privacy and stuff, and like, I have other usernames I go by for different things, and I never post like photos of myself or anything on those. And that's just a thing you can do on the internet, and it's great. So I guess as Calamacat is the only identity I really ever put my face to. Sorry. I mean, I don't mind going down certain content rabbit holes. I don't mean cosplay. I've been following for a while. That'll be cool. Actually, I think Pilot, one thing I have been considering, if I ever do actually publish a book, which I really want to do, so when I publish a book, I'm going to be very, very tempted to publish it under a pen name and then like try to be a cryptid author. I don't know how well I'd be able to pull it off. Like in terms of not needing to put my face out there for, I don't know, interviews or whatever. But I'd be very tempted. I'd be very, very tempted to be a cryptid author. I think that would be fun. VTuber people. This is true. This is true. Favorite creators would join, but that's probably never going to happen. I mean, the other thing is you've got to fight against how many servers are people already in, because people can only be in, like, be active in so many servers. And like, I don't join new servers. People send me invites, I don't join them unless I have a really good reason to, because I have way too many servers. I've always had way too many servers. I've had to leave like hundreds of them over the years because I've joined them for various reasons, and then like 6 months later gone, why was I've never checked this since the day I joined it. So that's the other thing. Like, if you're trying to run any community, you have to give people a reason to join, you have to give people a reason to stay, and you're fighting against you're fighting for their time and their attention against everything else that could be taking up their time and attention. And it's just really hard. I'm a faceless streamer or VTuber. No one really knows my real name. Yeah, I was just thinking, Hayes. I was like, hang on. I just associate you with the Moa, or however you pronounce it. So, Dreams are Real was a bit shocking to me. I got over it pretty quickly. I commissioned my GIF to make a pinned YouTuber model, and I use that. Yeah, so that's like an easy way to do it. So on Twitter, and then popped on my shorts and didn't come up again. Yeah. Shorts are won't pop up on your main feed. Yeah, YouTube actually keeps shorts and long form videos separate. Like there's separate algorithms. An interesting thing with me is because I post Toby shorts on Sundays, and I've been doing Splatoon videos on Saturday and Monday. Anyone who subscribes to me for the Toby shorts apparently will only ever get like recommended or get notifications for the shorts that I post. They won't get notifications for the videos that I post, and vice versa. Also, if you've never seen that I post photos of Toby, videos of Toby every week, that's a thing. Because if you usually just watch my long form videos, I'm pretty sure YouTube will only ever notify you about my long form videos. But also I post videos of Toby as shorts. This was under a pen name. Yeah, I wish mine was. I have a bunch of things that are under like a shortened version of my name. Like things that kind of have to be my real name, I use a shortened version. So that kind of works. Go with so many identities now, it's just part of the whole. Yeah, pretty much. Pen name should just be Jim. Wish Discord was a wiki for things. As in you could use it as a wiki. I feel like I accidentally saw your name on a receipt once. That seems like a potential way to find out. I know Sneaky's name because he paid me after I bought a dinner, so that's like, I feel like as soon as money gets involved, that's one of the few ways you find out people's real names, so. I did see an interesting post the other day on Tumblr from one of the big Tumblr people who just post like weird thoughts and memes and stuff. And it was actually about people as adults picking their own names. And like, why isn't that a thing? Why don't people just, if you don't like the name you're born with, or even if you do, but you find something better, why can't you just change it? Why isn't it just a normal thing to go by a different name? And I found that interesting because like 70 or 80% of the people I know call me Cat. Actually, no, it's probably more than that. It's probably like 90% of the people I know call me Cat. And that's my preference. That's what I've told people I want to be called, and it's the username I've purposely mostly gone by because I prefer it. And there are actually days where I respond to Cat faster than I respond to my real name. And that was like, I don't, you know how names have like implications and connotate, like different, most people at least, associate a name with like a personality type, or I don't know, something. Like you've known Karen, for example. Everyone has associations with the name Karen at this point. That's just a thing. The name my parents gave me has associations, and they're not terrible. But it's more like high expectations, at least the way I always interpreted it. And so I'm like, I tried to live up to those expectations for many, many years, and that is part of the reason my mental health is the way it is. And so at some point I just went, you know what, fuck that. I like Cat. I'm gonna go with Cat. There's no expectations. I can make my own expectations. Let's go. There was more to it than that. But that was like my general thought process, was like, I keep tying myself in knots trying to live up to the expectations of the name my parents gave me. So screw it, I'm gonna pick my own. So, gamers just edit posts. Something called by my old name. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to edit. Missing his name because he literally used to have it in his online name. No, I wish it wasn't being used. Okay, like when I'm looking at stuff, I have to turn the Discord under. Oh, like, Jim, like in Slack, how if you haven't joined a channel yet, but you want to like peek in and see what's in it, you can just like preview it. Yeah, that. Whoever your name isn't actually Cat, and she was very surprised. I feel like I get that a lot at this point. I don't know, like, my real name is weird at this point for people who know me as Cat, but this is fine. No, I would tell my provo offspring to use uncle or auntie instead of IGN. Yeah, fair enough. From a personal perspective, choosing names can be difficult. Oh yeah. My parents very much just went... Can I tell the story without giving away my real name? Okay. The story of how I got named initially, and then my parents like looked up the meaning later and stuff, and they were like, oh yes, this name. The reason they initially like discovered it was a name that you could name a kid. And I'm going to substitute Katie here because I don't want to use my real name, but this isn't going to work without a name to actually say in the story. My parents were shopping one day. They're at like a Kmart or something. And there's these two little girls walking along, like an older sister and a younger sister, but both little kids. Apparently very cute, all that stuff. And the littler girl is lagging behind. And the sister's trying to chide her along and all this stuff, and she's just slow and everything. And apparently, the older sister turns to the younger sister and goes, "Come on, Katie." And that was how my parents decided to name me. Every time Dad tells the story, he's just like, I knew at that moment that was the name we needed. I'm like, why? I feel like they just had no clue, and that was like, yeah, that name, let's go. Yeah, that was it. Then they looked it up and they figured out the meaning and all this other stuff, and apparently it's Italian. And the meaning kind of fit, which is nice. But yeah, it's yes. And that was a like your actual name, no, but you're still always good. I don't mind my actual name as much these days. I think I've like distanced myself from the expectations that I used to associate with it, which is good. Also, it's mostly like work people who call me my real name now, and it's fine. But yeah, I don't know her name, but even if I did, Cat just feels more natural to say. It's at the point where it feels more natural. The number of times I've ordered I did this yesterday. The number of times I've gone to order coffee and I've almost said Cat, or I have said Cat a couple of times actually, instead of my real name, is quite amusing. I also keep thinking that maybe I should just use Cat because baristas completely fail to hear or write or pronounce my real name. Like at least 50% of the time. I've gotten so many variations, and most of them are names I've never heard in my life, or like they have like 2 letters to the same, and that's it. And I'm like, how did you get from this to this? Like, I know the cafe is busy, I know it's loud, but how? But the 2 times I've used Cat, one of those times someone still misheard it. And not even to like hate or something, they misheard it as something completely random, and I was like, what? Also, for those who don't know, Jim and I worked together for a while there, and I thoroughly confused everyone else in the office at the beginning because I kept calling him Jim. He'd been introduced by his real name, and I was like, I ended up having to tell everyone. I'm like, just so you know, if you hear me talking about someone called Jim, that's that guy, because I've known him outside of work and that's what I'm used to calling him. My parents got my name from a dream, which is kind of cool, better than a term, which is Patrick or Aiden. Yeah, I mean, dream is kind of cool. My brother's naming The way my brother named his kids was he opened a... Okay, no, even better. He has 2 kids. I won't say their names, but one of them, I'm pretty sure he just he got a baby names book, and I'm pretty sure he just opened it to the middle and like randomly pointed at a boy's name and went, yeah, that one, that'll do. And then the second kid, I'm pretty sure what he did was he opened it to the first page and pointed at a name and went, yeah, that'll what it'll do. If he ever has a third kid, I'm expecting him to end up with a name that starts with like Z or something. So he's got like a kid whose name starts with N and a kid whose name starts with A. And I'm expecting if he ever has a third kid that their name's gonna start with Z because book. See you, Alpha. Have a good night. Classic. Hang on, where am I? Parents were definitely phoning in by whatever number kid you are. I was named after a classic film, so I just so happened to be one of my favorites, so that's awesome. That works. That works for sure. Yeah, son of big kids don't mind being called by the IGN. If you get coffee and say Haze, they would be confused. Yeah. I mean, they might think you meant Hazel or something, which people misspell my IRL name. Oh my god, my first name and my surname both have multiple common other spellings. Particularly my surname. The spelling of my surname is a little bit. It's not a little bit. It's far less common. It's also legally not me, even if people make the slightest change to my name, which is great fun. People like to throw capitals in my surname, put it that way, and my surname is lowercase, thank you, apart from the first letter, obviously. And legally, it is not me if there is a capital anywhere in my surname, because that is a completely different family. But people do it anyway because they don't understand that. So, yeah. We've all, like Dad and me and my brother and we've all had problems at times where, you know when you like fill out a form and you fill out in all caps or something, and then later on, obviously someone's had to like type it in or something, and it gets printed out somewhere else as like capitalized, but not all caps. Almost every time that happens, people put a bloody random capital in my name. Shades! Hello! How you doing? We're talking about names. Probably not the problem with my name is people think they're hearing OJ, so I have to brush up on my name. Oh dear. Common person in pilot, they go, do your parents hate you? Jim introduced himself with his name when it meant, yeah. People think my name is Sam or Samantha. It's definitely not. I still get asked if my name's Catherine so much from people who know me as Kat. I'm like, You're gonna think your name is Grace or Tippy? Samantha would be a pun, just not my name. Also, Gemendorf is a pun on ham and Ganondorf. Named after an actor? I still feel like I have the dodgiest naming story. Like, seriously, my parents just hearing some kid yelling a name in the shopping center and going, yeah, that'll do. Screening the name is someone is short for something and not short for something. Yeah. You know, I might happily give it and pass some time now. It's like, I have a cousin who goes by a couple of, he'll go by either the first 2 letters of his name or the initials for his first name and his middle name. Both of which of course start with the same letter. And are generally just very close in sound. In that I've heard him use one and then someone refers to him by the other just because that's what they heard instead. And it's like, does have the same first initial as middle name. I think you've told me your names before, like your name and family name and stuff. Your name and your brother's name and blah blah blah. This is good wine, but also I feel like I have water, but I feel like I need cordial or something. I need something more refreshing. This is a good wine, but it's a little bit dry. My mouth feels dry, and I want something kind of refreshing. So Ree does do puns for her name, one of which is Reeby. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's right. I remember that. I always forget about coconut juice. I don't have any. This is kind of sad. I have elderflower cordial. I have V8 juice and Sprite. I usually mix. I don't like the taste of Sprite by itself, but I've been mixing it with my juice lately, like half and half. That's been really nice. I've already had juice today. I've already had juice today. I probably shouldn't drink any more. I think that's what they put in the tactical. I see. Coconut juice gives you respawn buffs, hey? Yeah, I think Lady was the one who put me onto elderflower cordial for exactly that reason. That and iced tea and gin. Yeah, I get to blame Lady for those ones. Be back on Coke, I think. Yeah, I've been drinking so much. I got so used to drinking so much coffee during my holiday, which makes no sense because I was, you know, not stressed and stuff. But I guess I was walking a lot, so I'd buy coffee on my walks a lot. And also I got this fancy instant coffee that I like that I've been drinking a lot of. The like weird medicinal coffee. And then I went back to work a couple weeks ago and my team were doing a coffee run at like 10 a.m. And so we walked to the coffee shop, grab coffee, cool. And then at lunchtime I'd get another coffee. And in like the 2 weeks, my first 2 weeks, my coffee intake just went through the roof and I was like, I need to stop. So this week I was trying not to drink coffee. I was good yesterday because I took my tea into, I took a box of my tea into the office and I had morning tea. And then I bought a chai at lunchtime instead of coffee, which was a good chai. It was really nice, smooth chai. I've never been able to figure out a way to make a really smooth chai at home. Like I've tried a few powders and things and they're never quite right, but this was a good chai. Anyway, today I had my tea in the morning. I took Toby for a walk. I almost bought coffee. I was good. I didn't. Came home, made tea, drank that. And then I just really needed something this afternoon to get through this bloody legal document I was writing. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a dirty chai because then I'll just get one shot of coffee and I'll have the chai flavoring to like make up the flavor. And then I had the whole problem of it. I don't like their chai mix. The cafe next door that I usually go to have apparently changed their chai mix and I don't like it. I really don't like it. Also, yeah, my face started burning after a while of drinking it. I didn't mention that in Discord. I mentioned that earlier, but so I think I'm allergic to it. So that's fun. Yeah. Never been splattered IRL after drinking coconut juice. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good evidence there, Shades. Red Bull shop. Totally not currently drinking in one. I mean, don't you need to stay up overnight because work? So weird medicinal coffee, actual absinthe. I've had absinthe and this is significantly better tasting, Shades. No, to be fair, the flavor I currently buy is significantly better tasting. The mocha that I briefly tried because I had a sample of it and managed 2 sips and then had to chuck out, I'd take absinthe over that. Not a coffee or tea person. This is fair. I just got way too addicted to caffeine at one point and, well, actually no. The tea I can blame on when I used to travel with my parents a lot as a kid, like traveling to the outback. And a lot of the time we had to boil water to drink it anyway. So we'd often just drink tea because why not? So I've been drinking tea since I was a kid because I was used to literally boiling a billy of water over a campfire and drinking that. So, tea. And then I didn't drink coffee for ages and ages and ages. Hello. What are you doing? What? Why the cat noises? Yeah, then I went to uni and I was good for a couple of years. And then the like getting up at 5 or 6 a.m. to commute to get into my lectures on time and my whole like undergrad thesis thing got to me. and I discovered one, iced coffees with like all the ice cream in them, and two, espresso shots. So I would literally like get off the bus at my uni, walk up the hill to the cafes, buy an espresso, down it, go to my lectures, go through all the morning lectures and classes and stuff, go to have lunch, buy an iced coffee, drink that over lunch, and then yeah, and occasionally get coffee in the afternoon just before all the cafe shut as well. So yes, that was a problem. Burn my tongue drinking tea. I've burned my tongues. My tongue is burnt a lot of the time because I very often just try to drink tea before it's cooled down enough. Because I don't put milk in my tea, I drink tea black. So I usually put a little bit of just like tap water in it to cool it down that little bit, but sometimes I forget, or I don't put enough in, or I just don't wait long enough, and then I burn my tongue or my mouth. Roof of my mouth is, I think, is more the problem. So tea is my crack. I cannot go without my morning tea. I had to explain it. People, we were talking about tea at work the other day, and I had to explain the whole, I've been drinking the same tea almost every day for like 6 years now. And it's a very specific, it's a specific tea from a specific brand, and that is it. And I have branched out a little bit recently. I've been drinking the tambourine teas, which have been really nice. But generally, I only drink Madam Flavor Melbourne Morning. I do also just suffer if I don't have my morning tea pilot, so I get that. Matcha can be so bad sometimes. See, usually I like it, but I think the problem with this particular weird coffee is, so it's a medicinal coffee. They add various things. You know how like you can get medicinal teas and they'll have like, I have like a raspberry leaf tea or like a, you know, like mint teas and stuff like that, and they have medicinal properties. Someone figured out how to make coffee where they've infused the same kinds of medicinal properties. I literally, one of the coffees I saw in that company makes has almost the same ingredients as one of the medicinal teas I have in my cupboard. The one I get has iron in it, which has been really good for me, and I probably should have been taking iron supplements earlier. But anyway, when you can have coffee that doubles as an iron supplement, it's a pretty good life. I like it. But I think the reason the mocha was so bad was that it's one of the, like, I think the one's aimed at like people who go to the gym a lot. It's meant to help you like build muscle or something. I don't know. I don't quite get it. I get the feeling that the ingredients they used for that, like the medicinal ingredients they used for that coffee, tasted really bad. And so their solution was, let's add chocolate. Surely the chocolate will hide the flavor and then it'll be perfectly fine and it'll be a mocha. We can market it as a mocha. And no, the chocolate just made it worse. It's like someone's made, it was really weird. It was like sweet coffee, not a bitter coffee, a fairly sweet coffee with something really bitter added to it. That you just like indescribable bitter flavor, and then this tiny hint of like tooth-rottingly sweet chocolate over all of that. I was just drinking, I'm like, no. Yeah. Because my mocha is actually pretty acceptable. This is true. This is true. Well, yeah, I don't know if I reacted to that before, but Milo is top tier. Agreed. I'm still scared by Con just appearing to go and then disappearing again. What is it? What is it doing? What's it getting up at 5 a.m.? Bedtime? Yeah. I wish it was near my bedtime. You drink tea raw, so do I. Problem is when they put tea in a coffee cup. Wait, what do you mean by that, RJ? been drinking English breakfast tea for nearly 8 years. I've been a tea drinker since I was 12. Oh yeah, I think I've been drinking tea since... probably since I was 6. It was very weak when I first... Actually, no. Oh my god. Has anyone ever read the books House on the Prairie? Because I have a copy of the full set because they were mum's. And when we used to travel a lot when I was a kid, I took them with me and I read them over and over and over. I could probably quote pieces of them still if I could remember like a scene to quote from. Anyway, there's a thing in that where they have the kid, they're like traveling and they're doing the same thing. They're boiling the water so that it's safe to drink, etc., etc. They're making tea. And for the kids, they make... can't remember. Fixing OBS, not relaying my Switch audio. Right. Be right back. Okay. Right, see you in a minute, gone. I can't remember what it was called, but they had a fancy name that was something tea, which was just milk and water. And it was obviously intended for kids to have, so they weren't actually having any of the tea and the tannins and the caffeine in it, but they could drink something that looked the same as what the adults were drinking and, you know, feel included because kids. I drank a lot of that when I was a kid. When we were traveling. I think I read my prairie books and then I must have asked mum one day for this tea. And I think she'd read the books, so she probably remembered it as well and was like, yeah, all right, here you go. Here's your tea. It's just milk and water. Like hot milk and a dash of water. So, but yeah, so I drank that for years and years and years. And then eventually got it old enough to actually try tea. Absolutely hated it the first couple of times I tasted it, but I have since learned that that is, 1, my parents oversteep tea all the time. 2, I do not like the brand of tea they drink at all. Like, the office had it back, the last office I was in 2 years ago. They bought that tea a lot, and I just can't drink it. I don't know what it is. Just the way it sits on my tongue just feels weird, and I don't like it. So yeah, I don't know, I like suffered drinking tea I didn't like for years and years and years because I thought that was just what I thought tea was. And then I started trying different teas at some point and I was like, oh, they don't all taste terrible. Good to know. The English stuff? No, it's like, I don't think it's Tetley's, but it's one of the other ones. It's like they're extra strong. One of the ones that comes in the big cardboard pack of like 200 bags. Yeah, it's just, I just don't like it. It's definitely not Twinings. My parents are not that fancy. I'm the one who buys Twinings tea. Blue Label? No, that's a more recent thing. They used to get something else. Maybe it is Tetley's. I don't know. I always get Tetley's and another brand mixed up because I can only remember the name Tetley's. I can't remember the name of the other brand. But anyway, I just remembered it was the biggest box of tea bags you could get because we'd be traveling for like up to 3 months. So they just have a giant box of tea bags, and I did not like the taste. It's like really dusty and weird. No. Can I just say I feel naked with my MB flag bag? No. Did you lose the... I was thinking it was a pin, RJ. Or was it a whole bag? The tea and one of those disposable... Oh yeah. I can't order tea takeaway. I just can't. Like sometimes they do the 2 cups and at least then you don't burn your hands. But it's just wrong. And then every time I'm like, well, what do I do with the tea bag once it's finished steeping? Blah, tongue. Like you just can't, manage tea like that. If I'm getting tea at a cafe and I'm sitting down, it's fine. But takeaway tea just doesn't work. Really doesn't. Oh, hey! Alright, see you all. Thank you for tuning in. I hope work isn't too boring. Should I get more water? I still want like something else to drink, but I can't figure out what. This is always my problem. I really wish there was I had more options of things to drink. Because I'm always like, I feel like something, like sometimes I want a hot drink, but I don't feel like tea or coffee. I'm like, well, what do I drink? Sometimes I end up drinking like a warm Milo, which kind of works. But sometimes I'm just like, I want something else. Like maybe something that doesn't have caffeine or doesn't have milk or whatever. And I just left my bag as soon as I went, no. Oh, jeez. That's really sad. Begin calling at someone showing the wheels, which always seem to be my peripheral bag. I mean, that's something, but that's not great. Did you lose, like, you've still got your wallet and everything as well? Warm water is the thing. You're right. I don't know. I just feel, surely we have like such a wide variety of food. Like there's so many things to pick from if you want food, and yet drinks, it's like water, soft drink, juice, cordial, tea, coffee. I guess then you get into the realm of like chai and milkshakes and stuff, but okay. God, is that seriously why you did that earlier? I'm laughing because it only just clicked. I was so like, what the heck is Con doing? Eric, for context. Oh, for context, Con appeared in chat earlier and put, and that was it. That was all he posted, and that was all he posted for like 5 minutes. And I was mildly terrified because this is Con, and I was expecting him to follow up with like a pun or something at minimum, and he just didn't. It was just that and then dead silence, and I didn't get it. And thanks to you, Eric, I now understand. And so I was laughing because it just clicked. Also, I'd completely forgotten what title I set for the stream. That didn't help. It's like you're trying to add. Did you ever? Oh my god. There's Ajay. There's like a comedy skit, like it's like a TikTok or something. But there's a skit that's exactly that. It's like someone writing a letter, and they add it's like, it sounds like a love letter and all that stuff, and they add a postscript, and it's something, and then they add another postscript, and it's something, and they add another postscript, and another one, and another one, and it becomes just enjoying streaming. There is no oh my god. I mean, there's a dog sometimes. He's made a couple of appearances today. He was at daycare yesterday and he's very tired. So I was meant to go in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, and he was going to go to daycare Monday, Friday, and Nem was going to take him on Wednesday. But Nem's had a thing come up, and so she's going to take him on Friday instead. And I was gonna put him put him in daycare tomorrow instead, so I could go in the office. But he's really tired today. Like, I don't know what he was doing yesterday, but Toby is exhausted today. And I don't have anything urgent tomorrow, so I'm thinking I might just stay home tomorrow as well. Can love you take. Ajay, apparently the trick is just to put them in daycare for the day and let them just run all the energy out. Because usually he's a brat, but daycare wears him out for a couple of days, really. So yeah, he's just been sleeping all day. Like, when there's still food, like, yeah, when there's food involved, he's still like running around and stuff. But that is the general thing I've heard from dog owners, is just daycare just tends to wear them out. So actually this new one wears him out more than his old one did. And he's also less anxious about it, which is great. Because when I used to pick him up from the old daycare, one, I had to pick him up early. Like, they asked me to come in and pick him up as soon as I could, because he just would get really anxious as the afternoon wore on. And when I picked him up, he was visibly anxious. And he wasn't really playing with the other dogs super well and all this stuff. But the new one, like, I accidentally left Toby at daycare for 10 hours last Tuesday because I have to drop him off at 8 to like 8-ish to get to work on time. And then I stayed late at work, and so I didn't get around to picking him up. And then I gotta come home from the office on the train, grab the car, drive to daycare, pick him up, drive home. It takes an hour in total. And so I didn't get around to picking him up until like 6:30. And he was fine. He was like, oh, hi. All right, let's go home. Like, no anxiety, nothing. I'm just like, before he barely managed 6 hours at his old daycare, and he'd be quite anxious. I was gonna say a mess, but no, he wasn't that bad, but he was still like quite anxious about it. New one, he's like, yeah, no, this is fine, it's cool, whatever. It works. Hey, congrats, Con. OBS. Actually, how's my audio tonight? I keep meaning to like listen back to it so I can figure out if it's sounding terrible or something, but I'll listen back to the VOD. I can't be bothered. This is my problem. I want to fix the audio, but I'm also just too lazy to fix it properly, so. Problem is the other dogs at daycare get a little grabby, and it's hard to make consent dogs are not part human. Surely the daycare staff should be dealing with that though, right? Like, that's kind of the point of putting a dog in daycare with experts, is to like, to be fair, I do think the people at, oh my god, my nose is all itchy again. I do think the staff at the new daycare, they may just be more used to dealing with dogs like Toby. But there's just obviously some difference in how they're handling him and the kinds of, like, how the daycare operates than the previous daycare, which suits him better. Not like saying they're better, they're just different. So yeah, I don't know, let's get anxious, and then when someone new appears, she lets. Yeah, that seems, I don't know, I might be a little bit spoiled because there's apparently like 20 doggy daycares in Brisbane, which is a bit insane. But I do wonder if, like, if you can try a different daycare, maybe that might help. Depends on if you have another one around though. My dog in daycare should get a say. I mean, that's the thing. You put them in doggy daycare and they get excited about all their friends and they play and then they wear themselves out. It's great. Voices peaked to handful. Right? I like explicitly have filters set up now to prevent it from peaking like that. And yet, how's the audio level? Like when I'm just speaking like this, is it fine? Maybe if I pull this down a bit. It's hard to find daycare around these 6. Yeah, that's fine. That's fair. Also stepped out. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Sounds fine on my end. That's good. I have a feeling, like, I have so much. I have so many filters here, and I have a bad feeling that I actually have too many, and they're interfering with each other. Like, also I just turned 2 more on. Can you even hear any difference? Like, if I have this set on, and then I turn those 2 off, can anyone hear any difference? So I think that's my biggest problem, is half the time when I'm messing with this stuff, I can't hear it. I have no idea what the heck they're doing. So, I can't? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, maybe I'll turn the roll-off filter back on. Is it like, I'm still not really noticing the noise issues? Fair. Is that, hang on. Is that just taking my volume down a heap in general? No, I think that, I don't know. I don't know how to do audio stuff. When you laugh, then you'll hear it. Right. Well, thank you. I'll have to check it out. I can't figure it out. I cannot figure out how to set it up properly. Do you mean when I've got things set up like this, or when I have things set up like this? A or B? Yes and yes? Wait, what are you hearing? Like differences in the audio or just... I think it's affecting my overall volume, but apart from that... I wonder if the audio changes. Is one better than the other, or... I'm suddenly not surprised that you of all people can hear the difference too. I don't know, I just... yeah. If I dug out my like good headphones and played around with it heat one day, maybe I'd be able to hear it. But it really is the problem that... yeah, when I'm laughing or shouting or something, that's when it gets really weird. And I'm just like, I'd rather not do that, but I can't figure out how to configure it to not. Ah. Audio stuff's hard. Con, do you have a bunch of filters on your OBS for audio, or are you just running with whatever your mic does? I've also been very tempted to just buy a better mic at this point as well. You didn't notice anything, Eric? I mean, it's good that most of you aren't noticing anything then. I'm like really conscious of the moment because I actually recorded 2 videos the other weekend, not last weekend, the weekend before, and I started editing them, and the mic audio on both of them is horrible. Like, I don't know what I'd done to my mic that particular day. I must have done something, but it was like the audio was peaking every sentence. It was actually slightly ridiculous. Like, Con, the time we were playing Salmon and I was recording it, the audio on that is horrible. We were playing Salmon. I was excited. I was like screeching about being chased by a million bloody things. And it sounded really bad. But anyway, I'll figure it out one of these days. It's just one of those things. Yay, streaming stuff. Actually, part of the reason I'm having trouble with it, I think, and this is like a weird... most of you will never be affected by this, even if you do bother with audio stuff, but discovered that most of the guides out there for like how to set up your filters for OBS audio to make your voice sound good, blah, 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 for streaming and all that, are designed for guys. And they're designed for guy voices. And therefore, a lot of the settings that they tell you to do, like based on, you know, at this pitch, like do this, doesn't work for girls. Completely wrong values. So, I did eventually find the other day a guide for female streamers, or like people with feminine voices, which was kind of nice. I did some stuff from that, which I think might have helped. But it's more like where you set things to cut off. Like I have a noise suppression filter, right, to try and take out my aircon when I'm running in and stuff like that. And a lot of guides say to set that at a certain like decibel or pitch or whatever the heck it is, because for a guy, that's, you know, the like average bottom end of a guy's vocal range. And so anything below that, you don't care about, it's background noise. But for a girl, I can put that a bit higher because my voice is generally higher, which means it kills more background noise, which is cool. But then also I need to shift the top of the filter up because I have a filter as well that takes out the top end of the pitch to get rid of like high-pitched whining noises. And I have to move that up a bit because otherwise, and I think this is what was happening weekend before last, it cuts out my voice whenever my voice gets too high-pitched. Like it just stops recording. So just missing words, because just like that, just then my voice like went up in pitch and the filter just goes, oh, no, that's a high-pitched whining noise. Kill. So, yeah, I think I made it a little bit better. It really is just when I get like really excited. But I think I made it a little bit better the other week. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing with audio, and it's one of those things where like every tutorial you find contradicts every other tutorial, and every single one of them is like at least 2 years old and stuff has changed since then and blah 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 blah. So yeah, at some point I just need to find someone who actually knows what they're doing and be like, please tell me what to do. So I don't know. I'm starting to get really tired. I'm like, I was hyperactive at the beginning of this, but I'm starting to get quite sleepy. It's only 9:30. I've been going to bed quite early. That's actually another thing with streaming. Like, I know last week I started at 6:30, so half an hour earlier than usual. I think I still ended at 10. I intended to end earlier, that's right, and then I didn't. I think I'm gonna have to, like, at least end a bit earlier than I used to. Partly because I'm just going to bed earlier in general, because I'm getting up at 7 or so these days. I used to get up at 9, so it's a bit of a difference. But yeah, I'm also just actually getting sleepy earlier, which is nice. I've always had so much trouble sleeping, and I always get to sleep at like 2 AM or something. I've been getting to sleep at like 10, somewhere between 10 and midnight recently, which is nice. So yeah, I guess heads up, I still don't have a schedule. Who knows what nights I'm going to be streaming. Tuesday is starting to look likely because I've decided I can't. Alright, RJ, good night. Talking about sleeping, so you'd be like, oh yeah, shit, that's a thing. I've decided I need to not stream on the days I'm in the office because I'm just so tired from being in the office, it's not gonna work. Although alternatively, if I stream on those nights, I don't need to get up as early the next day. I don't know. Anyway, for now, test? What? What about test? Yeah, for now, Tuesday nights are likely for streams. I don't know anything beyond that. But, yeah, you can probably like, you're like an 80% chance that I'll stream on Tuesdays. So, yes. Anyway, I think I am actually, wow, I'm getting sleepy really quick. I'm doing the thing where like I started thinking about sleep and I started thinking about going to bed, and my brain's like, yes, bed sounds good. So I'm gonna go do that. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I hope this was fun. I am enjoying doing these little streams and like catching up with everyone again. I miss talking to you all while I was on holidays, but also it was a good holidays. So, but anyway, yes. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone has a wonderful night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Bye.